we decided that we would look and see where Leroy Hart's grave is, because there's a website that you can go to, it's find a grave, that's what it says. And you type in the person's name and city where they were last known to be and so forth, and it'll come up with what cemetery where this person lays and rests. Well, we found out that Leroy Hart was buried up in Ballou Cemetery up by Locust Grove. So we took a run up there. We didn't have our equipment, but we found his grave, and his mother's grave was right next to it. And I could feel this presence. My hair was just standing on end. And so I went back and I said again, God, we gotta do an investigation there because I could feel his presence. And so we set it up. It was the night of the blood red moon, and it was a full moon. And we did not realize that we were set it up on that particular night, but we also set it up that we were going to do it on Inception Radio Network. Remember that, kid? And so we were live from the graveyard, and we had Ken, Dick, and I. Was George and Patty there?
No.
Doug and Chrissy
were.
Yeah.
And was he went back to shamanism.
Oh,
during
yeah.
the trial.
During the trial, he was accused of this murder of the 3 Girl Scouts, and they held a trial for him. They believed that shamanism was involved in getting him acquitted of the girls' murders. And so we were real curious about asking some questions, since we found out that his spirit might be at the gravesite. So we get there and we get everything all set up, and we use a flashlight. We use the little mag lights. And if we can make contact with spirit, we get it to turn the light on for answering yes and no questions. And that's all you can ask is yes and no questions. And I asked the question, are you Leroy Hart? Well, there was no answer. And
You want to play it? It's
so
pretty long.
It's kind of long, yeah, but it shows our conversation with him. It wasn't him, it was his mother that we made contact with.
Why didn't you call him Junior Hart since that's how he
I guess we do need volume.
Because his given name is Eugene Leroy Hart. So that's why we pick up in the headstone, and you'll see a picture of it. Well, his family called him Leroy. And Ken, there was a girl that you know over by Locust Grove that is a relative of his, right?
Leroy Hart's mother is her grandmother.
Yeah. So, anyway, then she told us to call her.
It's all in the dark, and so we turn the IR on. There's a flash light that's in there. The screen on the reflector.
I'm sure it's ready. Now that's the blood red moon right there. See the orange? That was the moon. We asked his mother, because she came through, we asked her if she knew Leroy Hart was there with her. Got no response. So we asked her, he was not there.
And it was more than one.
He's probably burning in hell. But we asked her also, was he guilty of murdering the 3 Girl Scouts? And she said no. And so then we asked the question, well, did he witness it? And she said yes. So, he was there, and we asked him, well, how many people were there? And we went with, like, was there one person that did it? Was there two people that did it? Were there three people that did it? And then we went through the questions of whether it was old, young, teenagers, and what the answer was, and Ken will tell you this, the answer was it was 3 teenagers that were involved in their murder. And so we don't know if that's truth or not, because Lloyd McCoy said that according to what he's written in his book, it does not indicate that there were those 3 teenagers involved in any way. The police didn't put them on their radar, let's put it that way. And they had Leroy Hart strictly on their radar because he had escaped from jail and was on the loose. And he was in jail because he had raped a couple women. And he was convicted, by the way, of those rapes. But he was never convicted for lack of evidence on the Girl Scout murders.
He was acquitted.
He was acquitted, that's right. And so,
For a charity to get acquitted at that day and age, I guess was impossible.
it was
Yeah,
impossible.
What year was that?
No, it was in 1976.
77?
Yeah. Going back to him being in court, there were things that seemed to happen, and there was a Native American that was using shamanism and going around the courthouse, spreading tobacco and chanting different things, and they believed that the shamanism affected the outcome of that Girl Scout murder trial. And so I found that pretty interesting. But the FBI was absolutely convinced that he was the one who did it. But according to his mother, it did not happen, that he was only a witness.
No mother wants to claim her kids is.
Yeah.
That is mommy wouldn't have thought we do.
Yeah.
But I kind of thought since we didn't get any indication from Leroy that maybe he's buried in prison.
He died in prison of a heart attack. So, probably the shamanism played a role, because if you use shamanism for a negative thing, a darker thing to achieve, it will come back on you according to Native American legend. And so that's probably what happened, because the shamanism played a role in it. He still ended up dying as a result of it. So anyway, that's
Just let me dovetail a little bit. I've done homicide investigations for the Louisville Police Department. Worked on a number of cases. And the one thing I have trouble with is, and so far I have not been able to find this anywhere in the annals of law enforcement, and that is, we're talking about a pedophile that committed murder. Okay, these Girl Scouts were 8, 9, and 11, 8, 9, and 10, somewhere there. Now, make no mistake about it, I would not want Leroy Hart living in my house. He was not a good person. Okay.
He was very long.
He was a bad person. However, he was not somebody that animal does not exist in the annals of law enforcement, and that is you can't have a person that is raping adult women, and that's what he did. And people say, well, they were underage. Hold on a second. They weren't legal to be drinking, okay? And that's where you picked them up at, because in a bar. He thought they were legal, but one was 19, the other one was 20. It'd be 21. Okay, he picked them up in a bar in Tulsa and brought them out to Mays County. When I say that animal doesn't exist, you don't go from adult women as a rapist down to be a killer of children.
Right.
That bar just does not. Now, I'm not saying that it's not possible. It's just that I don't know of any cases, and I've done a lot of research on it. I've talked to the Mays County Sheriff's Department about this, and they go, yeah, you're right. We don't know if that animal exists.
Right.
So, okay, and I say that, it's one of the things that I don't think Leroy did it. I do believe he was there.
Yeah, I
Okay,
believe it was too.
there was evidence that he had been in the Girl Scout campground at some point in time while that group of girls were there. He had burglarized the main building. He had taken some sunglasses and some other items that they found. Okay, but he was not responsible. This is my opinion. I don't think he was
Who do you
responsible.
think wrote the note to the camp counselor?
I don't know. My opinion is that it was somebody. There were teenagers in and around the camp at the time this went down. This is my opinion, and once again, take it for what it's worth. It's not a whole lot. But I think that, number one, the girls knew at least one of the people. There was more than one person involved in those murders. And the girls were not frightened by the individual that they saw. In other words, they knew that person belonged, okay, that they'd been associated with it.